Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. Thanks again for joining in. So, today I come to you with a bit of a heavy heart as I do this episode. This episode is on self-care, and I just felt it kind of fitting to do this episode now. As many of you know from my previous episodes, and those of you that know me personally, I am a Canadian military veteran and recently learned the news of the death of a fellow soldier. The details are sparse, and it really doesn't matter, but what does matter is that we lost another life. I didn't personally know this soldier, but it just brought home the fact that we're still dealing with the loss of a life. It brings back memories of last year when I did lose a friend to suicide. Now, this episode, like I said, is not about suicide, but it did stir up some, kind of thoughts about suicide and the fact that PTSD is taking its toll on way too many people these days. So in the near future, I will definitely share a bit more about losing my friend George to PTSD last year, but right now I just want to focus on really the mental health issues that really can affect anybody. Looking back at all the lives that have ended way too soon as a result of mental health issues, I can't help but think about the importance of practicing self-care. Now, this is something that I've really never paid a whole lot of attention to up until the last 10 years. I don't recall the term self-care ever really being part of my life growing up. Perhaps it was, but it didn't really stick with me. Everybody seems to be so busy in their day-to-day stuff, speeding from minute to minute, always on the go, always having something to do. And as you're doing it, chances are your mind is already thinking about the next 10 things that you also want to get done today, or what you didn't finish yesterday, or the fact that you have a gazillion things that still need to be done, and you're only one person, but somehow by the end of the day, in your head, you have got to get all of those things done. The words need, want, and must are really, I think, misused by a lot of us. It's far too easy for us to all set unrealistic, overblown expectations for ourselves each day. This becomes dangerous over time. Our minds get worn down. Our bodies get tired. We don't take the time to eat properly. We don't exercise like we should. And really, we just don't take the time to sit and be still with our thoughts. In the past month or so for me, I've really taken to yoga, just at home. I'm not really good at a lot of it. I'm still just practicing it every day. I don't do some of the crazy moves that I'd like to be able to do. But in time, maybe I will. And even if I don't, it's okay. Because what I'm doing is committing to myself that every morning when I wake up, I'm going to start the day with some yoga. This can be anywhere from 10 to maybe even 30, 40 minutes, depending on the day and what's going on and how my thoughts are. It's just me, my thoughts, a great little YouTube yoga instructor, and my little dog Bean. He usually helps me out too. Now, I know what you're all thinking, or at least some of you. Yoga is not for me. And that's okay. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I'm not here to say that you need to do yoga and it will fix your day. I'm just sharing with you what I found for myself, and hopefully it will encourage you to find something for you. It's amazing how beneficial just spending a few minutes each day on yourself really is. It gives you that chance to recharge. It gives you that chance to just stop your mind for a few minutes and do something peaceful, have some solitude, not worry about what's on that to-do list or the things that, are going to come at you the day. Don't worry about the deadlines. Don't worry about what your kids needs or your spouse or your other family members. Those first few moments of your day are spent just simply with you, recharging and taking some time for yourself. We all have things to do, and they're all different. But what is common with that is that all of that busyness affects our mental health in the same way. Self-care can be as simple as having a cup of coffee, and just sitting down and, people watching for a few minutes maybe. Maybe for you it's going to the library, spending 10 minutes reading a book, or even just reading the newspaper, maybe checking out a latest blog, listening to a podcast perhaps. Everybody just seems so busy from all their day-to-day stuff. And really it takes a toll on your mind. Now, I'm kind of struggling with where to go next with this, so I apologize for the pauses and the thoughts here, but anyways, I'm going to come back on track now. And I know what a lot of you are thinking, that, it's a lot easier said than done. But sometimes even just taking a simple moment to just close your eyes and say to yourself, okay, you know what? This moment right now, this moment is for me. Right now, I'm going to take a moment to just be still, to just be quiet, and let my mind rest for a moment. Push away all the busyness of the day, even just for a few minutes. I understand people have crazy, hectic days and that you're busy enough, and you might be thinking, how the heck are you going to find time to just take that moment for yourself? You might even think, how dare you do that when you have all these people that are depending on you? You do it because self-care is what will keep you going. Sometimes you might feel like it's self-centered, like it's selfish behavior to take a few minutes of time and just be with ourselves and take a few moments to catch our breath. I mean, really catch your breath and just put the tasks of the day aside. Breathe in the air and just feel it. Feel it filling your lungs. Feel it coming in through your nose. Just enjoy that breath and all it can bring you. We all rush through the day, going from task to task and not really aware of our surroundings, not really aware of even our own bodies. Maybe, you might wake up and you're so busy and you rush to start your day. You're running here, running there, you're carrying on your day. And before you know it, you realize it's lunchtime or even later and you haven't even eaten yet. It's important that we pay attention to what we eat. It's important that we eat. It's important that we drink water. It's important that we nourish our bodies and give our bodies what they need so it can work to the degree that we push our bodies. It sometimes seems like such a silly and simple thing, but it's amazing how much better your body can perform if you give it the energy and the care it really does need. Self-care really is important. It should be looked at the same as we care for our children. We care for our loved ones, even our vehicles, for goodness sakes. We take our vehicles to the doctor. We encourage people to go to the doctor or to just relax from time to time. We take our vehicles in for maintenance and checkups. Well, it's important to do the same for yourself. Now, I don't mean making sure you go to the doctor all the time or, anything as concrete as that. I really just mean take a few minutes each day and check up on yourself. See what's not feeling right. What doesn't seem to be working right in your body. What do you need to fix? What are you lacking in your day-to-day routine? Maybe all you're lacking is just a couple of minutes for yourself to say, hey, it's okay if I just sit here for a moment and be. Just pause for a moment and then continue. It's so important to understand that it is okay in our day to put ourselves first from time to time, because if we don't, it makes it very, very difficult and really impossible for us to be there to meet all those needs that we have in our lives. Now, this is a really difficult concept for some people to understand. I understand that. For some people, to even begin to think about taking a moment and being still can scare them. To just think about sitting and being with your thoughts, that can be scary to some people. Sometimes those thoughts aren't good. I think a lot of times our minds purposely keep ourselves busy to the point of exhaustion, simply to keep some dark thoughts, some bad memories, or some situations that we just don't want to creep out to the front of our mind. We worry that if we do stop for a moment and let our mind settle, maybe those thoughts might come, creep out, and that's scary for some people. I can respect that, and I appreciate that it is difficult to try and balance. How do you take that moment to just sit and be okay and not let those bad thoughts take over your mind, not let them take control? For each person, it's going to be different. Maybe it's something that you just need to start off with and just take a minute or two each day. Find a book or find some quiet music or a song that you really enjoy. Maybe it's not quiet. Maybe it's the heavy metal tunes that make you happy, that just gives you some time for yourself. Whatever it is that works for you, do it. Maybe it's not actually a quiet time. Just find something that brings peace and joy to your heart, and that's different for everybody. Take a moment and do that. Crank up that song. It'll make you smile. Throw on that crazy video that makes you laugh. Read a letter, read a blog, read a book, even just a page. Go for a ride on your bike, go for a run. Have a bath. Just choose to do something for a moment or two that makes you feel at peace, that makes you have a happy thought, even just for a moment in your day. Whatever you try, be proud. Be proud that you took that time for you. Now, in closing, remember this phrase and say it to yourself when you need a reminder. Pause. Count to 2. Now continue on with your day. So remember that. Pause. Now continue. Sometimes that pause is all we need to just take a quick little break. In closing, I thank you once again for joining me today, and I hope that maybe this will give you a bit more understanding of how important self-care is. Maybe these, last few minutes that you spent with me, maybe that was your self-care for today. I thank you for that. I thank you for taking the time for you. I'd love to hear back from you. I'd love for you to follow me on Facebook. You can search for me under Jen's Journey. I have a Facebook page on there. I also have a website with my blog. It's just getting started. It's a little bit rusty right now, but it is there. There's some great posts on it. It's www.pause23 PAUSETWOTHREE.com. I'm also on Instagram as well at Jen's Journey 73. So please reach out. Let me know what you do for self-care. Let others out there. Let's get some interactions going. So until next time, my friends, be gentle to yourself and remember to look out for one another.